This is Mr. Turner, and I will be your physics teacher for your CDLS physics course this semester. Many of you are returning from first semester. Welcome back. If you are, you probably don't need to view this video because you've got the course down and tips for success you've already figured out. If you're new, this will be beneficial because you'll get some new tips for navigating online courses and being successful. But also I'll show you a little bit about the second semester course. We'll just jump right in. If you're new, you want to do this before you begin Start Here stuff because it helps you set up your web browsers. Sometimes you can have issues with that if they're not set correctly. Tells you how to navigate the Genius system. You should have had some orientation to that already anyway, but if not, it's good stuff to go through. Otherwise, you can just jump right in. Under course information and resources, you'll see due dates for students wanting to complete all 7 units. We didn't get through all the units in Physics 1, Semester 1, because of the delayed start and because of several COVID issues and wildfires and all kinds of stuff that went on. Hopefully it'll be a smoother semester. But you'll see there are 5 units. These are actually in the second semester course, and then there are 2 carried over. There's additional Unit 5 and Unit 6 carried over from Semester 1. The requirement is that you get through these 5 units. However, if you are planning to try to take the AP test, or if you're planning to move on into a calculus-based physics course next, you might want to go ahead and try to do these 2. It's not required. I do have in the course information and resources this folder, due dates for students wanting to complete all 7 units. It's a pacing guide if you want to get through all 7 in the semester. It'll be challenging. It'll be a lot of work for you, but the payoff could be big if you're wanting to move forward. Otherwise, in each unit, there is a Unit 6 assignments here that show, if you open that up, it'll give you the due dates for each quiz underneath each lesson. Now there's a tutorial for each lesson. There's also a quiz. The due dates are assigned to the quizzes, not the tutorials. The tutorials you view, they help you pass the quiz. In a manner of speaking, they're kind of optional, although you won't do well on the quiz if you don't view them. The tutorials have a mastery test built in to give you a little bit of practice before you get to the quiz, but there's no grades taken from the tutorials. The grades are all taken from the quizzes, so that's what the due date's assigned to. So when you look at the assignment, you'll see it there. You'll also see assignments, and you should have a calendar function. In mine, it's in this upper, show you that again. If I hit this drop-down list, on the top of the screen here, in the top of the drop-down, I see this thing that looks kind of like a calendar. If I open that up, it'll display each month, and it'll show day by day my due dates for the different lessons and quizzes that you need to complete. So that's the basics layout of the course. Each quiz, and here tips, so now tips for success. Each quiz allows you to take up to 3 times. I would take it as many times as you want. You have 2 to 3 days on each of these lessons normally, so you have plenty of time to retake the quizzes. Take them until you get a good high grade. In fact, I would want you to take them until you get 100%, and most students do. It is possible that there'll be a wrong answer on a quiz. If you feel like that's the case, email me, we'll straighten it out. These quizzes are entered by people by hand, so they make mistakes on occasion. So don't be afraid to question it. In fact, I love that when you question them. It shows me that you have a deep level of understanding. Another tip for success, so multiple attempts at the quizzes is a great tip, strongly recommend it. Another thing that can be helpful as you go through the tutorials, and sometimes this will happen when you're logging in, it'll give you a frozen screen there, and sometimes you have to go back here and click on that again. This time I didn't have to. I'm going to go into the curriculum. I'm going to go into tutorial. Yours isn't set up exactly the same as mine, but your tutorial should look just like mine. If you look at this first folder under resources, it'll have a guided notes. If you click on that, it'll give you a fillable PDF. I would save that to your desktop. And as you're going through the tutorial, this will be a guide, and it'll point out the most important information. That's a really good way to go through the tutorials thoroughly and successfully and have all the answers you need at the end. So that's just another tip. So the tutorial, the guided notes as you go through the tutorial, good recommendation. Most of you are good students, I'm sure, so you take notes. But the guided notes is just another sheet to help you be successful in the course. And then as you take the quizzes in the course, take them multiple times. You can take them up to 3. Now, it's possible, I went through all of these and checked the settings. It is possible I might have missed one and it'll only allow you 1 attempt. All you have to do is email me. I watch my email closely, and I can usually get on really quickly and fix that if that's the case. You should be allowed up to 3 attempts for each quiz. And if you want more attempts, don't hesitate to ask. I'll give you as many as you want. My approach to instruction is mastery based. I want you to learn all this. I don't want to punish you for getting things wrong. I want you to get them all right. Then when you take the unit test, you should do well. In some of these units, there's a practice test. The practice test is not required, and it will give you some points, but it's not required, so it won't hurt you if you don't take it. There's no due date on the practice test. The post test is of course required. If you take the practice test, it's definitely going to help you with the post test, so I do recommend at least looking through it if nothing else. So I think that's about it. Again, repetition is key here. Really all learning is repetition. So if you're willing to put in the time and work and do these lessons as many times as you can in the 2 to 3 day span you have to get them done, you're going to do well in this class. Sometimes the calculations in physics can be tricky. If we hit a unit or a lesson, I think you saw this last semester where it really gets dicey, I'll do some videos and I'll demo some examples of problems for you, and that can be helpful. If you reach a sticking point and you would like for that, definitely email me and make that request. And sometimes the videos take me a little bit of time to make, but I'll get to it as quickly as I can and model some problems for you, and that's usually quite helpful too. So best of luck. I'm pretty available. If you had me last semester, I think you know I respond quickly. I don't want to leave you hanging out there if you have questions. If you put in the time to this course, you're going to do really well.